Aquaus Kelley, 7 Days of Wisdom, Sunday, May 31st, 2020. I wanted to make the time to speak about leadership accountability after listening to a number of people speak about the incidents that took place in Minnesota, Minneapolis with the murder of George Floyd. I wanted to tie a connection between the theme that seemed to be coming away, that I seem to be coming away with after listening to a variety of notable people speak, such as Trevor Noah, who spoke about the lack of leadership accountability and the lack of abiding to a social contract. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who spoke about the lack of leadership accountability. Killer Mike in Atlanta. Last night I watched him speaking about the lack of leadership accountability. And this made me think, okay, so when we look at leadership, what should that really represent? What makes a good leader? And then I thought, how are we looking at these structures and systems? Are we looking at them holistically? And then I thought about campaigning, and I thought about the notion of people running for office. And I'm like, should people run for office, or should people be voted up? Essentially meaning that in order for me to occupy a position in office, there should be a demand, right? If we as the people demand that there's someone out there that can best represent us and our beliefs and our interests, we as the people, we as communities should work together to vote that person into office and make sure that that right leader can represent us. We need someone who is a part of the community, someone who can speak to the community, speak with the community, be amongst the community, sit down at the table, learn from the community. What are the demands of the community? What do the people need? So that when it's time to represent, our communities can be represented accordingly and adequately. I feel it's less about occupying positions and titles. We need to demand change. Now's the perfect time to create and demand the change that we've needed for decades, for centuries. Now's the perfect time. We don't like a mayor. We need to create that demand to put the right person in office to represent us as people. If we don't like a superintendent, we need to create that demand to make sure that we get the right superintendent who is representing our school district the way it needs to be represented. If we don't like the police chief, we need to demand someone who can lead police officers while making sure that our community and our citizens are protected and not violated. Now's the perfect time to demand the change we need. I believe that the Constitution should be rehauled. It's a document that's hundreds of years old and is not applicable to today's day and time. I believe that Black people are entitled to free education, free housing, and reparations. These are all beliefs that have been sitting with me for a while. However, just like anything else, there comes a point in time where it's finally time to voice what we think and how we feel. And now's that time. There's no better time. Everything is going to be uplifted. Everything is going to be rehauled. And I believe that we need to write and demand what is in our best interest as people, as communities, as cities, as organizations across this entire country. Because for too long, we have been within the walls of oppression that has helped to serve no one but oppressors. So everything needs to be rethought, and now is the time to make sure that this happens and this takes place. If we're comfortable, it's time to get uncomfortable and really stand for someone, stand for something. We need to use our talents and gifts to contribute to whatever movement we feel aligns most with us. Because movement matters. Movement creates the change that's most often needed. And that's what we need. So with that being said, that's all I'm going to share right now. We need to hold our leaders accountable, and we need to create the demand for the best leaders that have the best interests in the community. Aquaus Kelley, 7 Days of Wisdom, A Lover's Ambition. Peace.